Is Paul. could you could you get me all the annuity sales and all the banks of the United States and the insurance companies that represent these tax deferred savings? Yes. Now, I was wanting to sell some insurance, and it seemed to me that somebody was concerned about these lawsuits. Oh, now there's what's known as international law. Poop, poop. Japan violated international law in 1941. Oh my gosh. Then there's the courts of arbitration, the International Criminal Court. Ooch. And then there is no uniform way. Why don't we look at the insurances of the banking industry throughout the world? Could you give me every bank in every nation that is licensed to sell insurance? Yes. So as to how is the industry? You know, I wanted to start Gorilla, and I thought we needed more investment banking in the United States of America. And I wanted to start that Just a Bank. Thought I'd have 30,000 branches throughout the world. Yes, where we would offer just a brokerage service, ooch, just a financial service, just a mortgage, ooch, JUSTA. It's a play on words, just ah. There's no space in there. Now, I know this international courts of arbitration. I thought for sure we were going to the United Nations. Poop, poop, poop. Lloyd, what do I know? Oh, the market went up today. Good for you. Did you? Oh, International Monetary Fund. Look at that. I'm sure they're happy today. Oh, lenders developed at $1 trillion to the IMF in 2007. Let's look at their management. Could you? Well, I know we already talked about that trillion. I just want to know how much of it ends up in insurance tax deferred. I know. I'm a little upset today that my sons have been playing athletics against those that are 2 years younger than themselves or 2 years older, or maybe they're two grades. Well, I know they're too big for their actually for their age, they're the right size. They're too big for the actual grade they're in. Seems that nobody wants to enforce the fucking law. Now I know you're upset about this, but just give me the IMF is a specialized agency of the United Nations. Quotas determine the amount of money each country contributes to the organization, as well as the number of votes. Let's look at the actual contributions of every nation of the world that thought we need the IMF. I thought we'd start a new bank, a federally chartered bank on Guam, where I would pay off the actual. Exactly where'd you get that money today? No, just get me all the banks in every nation that offer any tax deferred accounts and the actual insurance companies that insure all the tax deferred. You know, you've been helping people tax defer a little too much because you get a good commission on these annuities. I did like selling them and I like the earnings that I got being in the 1%. Now I'd like to get back there up there in the earnings. Yes. And I've documented all these lawsuits and for some reason